Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're down in the front room this evening, and we're going to be looking at my latest purchase. Okay, and I'm doing this with different. Actually, I'm doing this on my phone on a little stand, and it's a little bit low, so excuse the funny camera angle. Now, oh, funny to me because I'm not used to this. Uh, Now I made a purchase, which I've just taken delivery of today, and it's going to be a controversial purchase, okay? And I hope that's got your attention and your interest already. And we're going to be looking at the LNER, and particularly the LNER during World War II, okay? And this is going to be a locomotive which was produced in those particular times. Now, the LNER, and I do believe that obviously the one that people hold in the most regard is Sir Nigel Gresley, because he brought about obviously the Flying Scotsman and the famous Mallard and other famous locomotives. And of course you can imagine if he would have been a hard act to follow. For those of you who can remember, back on the old back in Live Aid in 1985, you had a Queen perform when they gave the performance of their lives. Many of you would have seen that. And you're thinking, how on earth do I follow this? And this was a burden put on quite a controversial figure, Edward Thompson. He became Chief Mechanical Engineer, if that was the correct title, of the LNER in 1943, plumb in the middle of World War II. And he was probably faced with quite a few dilemmas, trying to keep an existing locomotive fleet going and also produce new locomotives to suit new requirements. And at the time, obviously, everything would have been in short supply. And up until at least the summer of 1943, and we're looking at this into a historical context now, and U-boats were running riot and we were losing ships at a terrible rate. That didn't turn around until really the second half of 1943. And this leads on to my purchase. Now, a lot of you would have liked, I think it's the P2, isn't it, the locomotive? Cock of the North is probably the one that a lot of people have seen on the railroad range. I believe that's a 282 locomotive. I'm going to scratch my eye a second, sorry. It's hay fever season, sorry about that. Got a bit of an itchy eye. So, one of the great locomotives built by Sir Nigel Gresley, and it was rebuilt into this. So I can hold it up enough for you. Yes, a Pacific locomotive. Thompson got one of Gresley's great designs and rebuilt it as a Pacific. Also, we're looking at, see at the end of the box, we've got Chamossaire, our 3833 LNER Thompson Class A2 462 Chamossaire, number 514 by Hornby. Now this locomotive has come up with a double whammy. A lot of people don't like the design. They think that this whole thing was a complete act of sacrilege. And I'm sure if they could, they would have surrounded Edward Thompson's house with pitchforks and flaming torches. But there we are. These locomotives had to be, well, they were rebuilt to make them easier to maintain and really cheaper to run. And we're talking about the middle of wartime. So a lot of people didn't like the design. Now also, right, we've got onto the locomotive itself, okay. This model, when it came out, was absolutely panned by the critics. Okay, you only need to look at Sam's Trains. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but Barry Davis had a massive rant over this, I believe, and a few other people. This locomotive model from Hornby was absolutely panned. Okay, but okay, the price of it's gone right down because of it, and because of these bad reviews, this one's actually been reduced. I mean, I think it's going new at about 143 now for about 220 recommended retail price. And also, when I was able to pick this up for a little over £100, and I would say, even looking at a lot of the faults that were highlighted by a lot of the reviewers, I got the locomotive. It was second hand, but only used once by the seller, and he actually posted a video of this particular locomotive on a rolling road. So I know it at least was working then when he had it on the rolling road. I've got to actually come to test this locomotive, and we'll be giving this one a run on my layout. I haven't long come back from Clevedon today. I usually visit my sister on a Wednesday. And so by the time I had a sit down, time's getting on a little bit. And you know that my reviews are usually done on a legendary late night setting. I mean, they don't come out till about 1 o'clock in the morning usually, by the time I've edited them. And we'll see about when we actually do a review of this one. So we're looking at a model, okay, that's been controversial on two different levels. The real locomotive, which came under a lot of stick, because I mean, how dare someone redesign something built by the legendary Sir Nigel Gresley? And then we then came up with a model which, when it came out new, was absolutely panned by a lot of the critics. Okay, so as a lot of people would say, buckle up, because this is going to be quite an interesting ride when I come to do this review. Now, if you've not already subscribed, put a like and a subscribe. This does help my channel. I'm going to do this video as soon as possible. I've got quite an active weekend coming up socially, and so I need to be able to fit this review in at some point between now possibly and the end of the weekend. So I need to be able to fit this in. But like and subscribe, ring that bell symbol so you'll be made aware of future videos, and click on for all content, so everything I come out with you'll be made aware of. Okay, and I shall leave you now. Wish you farewell and good night. And this, like I say, buckle up, because this review is going to be an interesting ride. Okay, and I shall see you soon ASAP. Thank you very, very much for watching. I shall bid you farewell for now.